Hey, it's Jennifer. Are you there, Susan? I know it's pretty sudden, but I have a favor to ask you.
Hey, good afternoon, Jennifer. Yes, I'm here. What's up? I'm telling you though, if this has anything to do with the garden at my house, you can forget about it.
What? Oh, come on. Don't be so stingy. Why do you always have to be like this? Can't you just, do a favor for someone for once? We are friends, aren't we? Help me out a little bit over here.
Forget it, Jennifer. No matter what you say, my answer won't change. I'm just being logical here. Surely you can understand.
Oh, Susan, you don't have to act so cold toward me. We go way back, don't we? Let me guess, you're just, acting this way because it's what our completely boring mother said. Don't be like that, come on. Do you even know what Mom's friends call her behind her back?
What are you talking about? No, I don't have the slightest clue, and I'm not that interested, frankly.
They call her the Ice Queen. Pretty suitable name for her, wouldn't you say?
Oh, is that so? Like I said, I am not all that interested.
Sure. Well, if you don't want to be called the same name, then I suggest you let me use your garden for a while.
Jennifer, I really don't care what you or anyone else for that matter will call me. It doesn't matter to me.
What? You have got to be kidding me. I hate it when you act like this.
I'm not all that close with my mother, so I really don't care what you or anyone else refer to her as.
What? You're lying. All the other mothers gather around for tea and coffee on the wooden deck, and I talk about her all the time.
They aren't Mom's friends. That's her younger sister and cousin. You know how family members can be sometimes? They can be brutal. Her younger sister and cousin have kids around my age, so they often get together and just chat. They go on and on sometimes.
Oh, say whatever you want, but I know they talk about her too. I heard.
There is a pretty large age gap between most people who live around here and my mom, so maybe that's why they misunderstood her.
What are you talking about? You're just going to say anything to justify this, aren't you? Get off your high horse already. Just because you have a large garden next to your house doesn't make you all high and mighty, you know.
Sure. So, is that enough already? I don't want to discuss this anymore. I'm in the middle of work right now. I don't mean to be rude, but I have to be getting back anyway.
Damn it! You're so annoying. Fine. Go back to your little job. I'll show you. I'll make you regret not letting me use your garden. Hey, Susan, it's me again. So it's been a couple days. I just wanted to touch base again about that garden of yours.
Forget it, Jennifer. I told you no a few days ago and my mind hasn't changed.
Oh, come on. Take the stick out of your butt already, will you? Oh well, doesn't matter anymore because I know all about that thing. That basically makes it so I can use your garden anytime I please.
Thing? What thing are you talking about? Just sounds to me like you're talking in riddles again.
Well, it turns out you work for the same company as my husband. Isn't that right?
Oh, yes, that's true. And what about it?
And if we're going to think about this in terms of age, my husband should rank much higher than you at your job. He's older than you, after all. In other words, he is the boss of you. So all I have to do is give him the word, and he'll make your life at work pretty miserable. So that brings me to my main point. As the wife of your boss, we're ordering you to let us use your garden. Makes perfect sense when you think about it.
What in the world? What kind of fantasy are you living in? I never heard of anyone taking orders from their boss's wife. This company doesn't operate that way. It's a professional and a prestigious place to work. No one takes orders from coworkers' spouses.
What? Are you still refusing a direct order from your boss?
I don't know what department your husband is in or position he holds. Unless I look it up, I have no idea. And since you aren't sure about who actually ranks higher than who, I think it'd be best to cut out all the nonsense talk, Jennifer.
What? You got to be kidding me. Once again, acting all high and mighty. You should really stop saying such absurd things. I am getting pretty sick of it. I don't think it's wise of you to talk to the wife of your boss that way, especially with such a rude tone. Don't you think that is a pretty good advice coming from me? I'm doing you a favor and trying to help you out by giving you this free advice after all. Before everyone sees you crying at work, I suggest you take my advice and listen to your superior. You never know what could happen if you don't. You don't want your job to be put at risk, do you? So, I will say it one more time just to make sure your small little brain processes it. This is a direct order from your boss's wife. You must obey it. The order is to let me borrow your garden for 1 full day. You have no choice in the matter. You must honor your boss's orders. You have no choice as his subordinate. Susan, guess who? That's right, me again. Looks like you haven't been home since last night, is that right? I heard from the neighbors you haven't been around. Anyway, I have an errand I need to run for my in-laws. And by the sound of it, it looks like you won't be home all day today too. So let me just get straight to the point. As your boss's wife, I am giving you a direct order. I just got this amazing grill from my relatives. They just had it delivered to me today, so I thought, what better day than today to gather everyone around your yard with the beautiful garden and have a barbecue today. So I'm having the grill brought over to your place and having a barbecue today with it. I mean, you aren't home, right? Surely you wouldn't mind today of all days if I borrow your garden? I mean, what's more fun than a barbecue in a beautiful yard? Like I said, this is a direct order. Besides, you weren't around, so it's not like you can tell me no or anything anyway. I have some beautiful steaks too I plan on grilling. I am so excited. It's going to be so delicious. Susan, me again. Sorry to have to keep bugging you like this. Well, honestly, no, I'm not. Listen, I have another order. I need you to give me $2,100. Turns out the high quality steak I bought wasn't enough for the neighborhood. I had to go out and get some more. Well, it wasn't just steak. We want this to be an amazing barbecue, don't we? So, I splurged on a few other things too. I got some hot dogs, some fish, a bunch of other things people were asking for. And I'm not talking about some low-quality burgers. I got the best they had. Oh, I almost forgot. I got some pizzas delivered too. We can't forget about the liquor, of course. Had to buy a bunch of drinks and snacks. This party is a real banger. So, surely you can see how the price added up pretty quickly. Cost over $2,000 before I knew it. But, like, the way I see it, this party is being held at your place, so you should be responsible for forking over the money to me. For now, I'll just put it all on my credit card, but don't worry. You can just pay me back later when you're home. Easy. Well, I guess that about does it. I have to get back to this barbecue. It is a blast. It makes it even better that it's in such a beautiful yard with your gorgeous garden. What a perfect day. I have to get back to grilling up the steak for everyone. Gotta keep the people happy.
What the hell is this? I just saw your text messages. Jennifer, are you out of your mind? What in the world do you think you're doing? Are you being serious right now? You're telling me you really just took it upon yourself to have a barbecue at my yard?
Oh, Susan, there you are. About time you finally answered me.
Cut it out. Don't get smart with me. How the hell did you even get into my house?
What? What do you mean, how did I get in? What a silly question. I entered from the gate like any normal person would, silly. Well, the lock was broken a little bit, it seems, so that, of course, made it a bit easier. So it really is your fault. If you really didn't want me using your garden, you would have made sure the gate was locked so no one can get in.
Are you out of your mind? Just because the lock was broken doesn't make that an open invite for you or anyone else to just come and make yourselves at home. Every time you ask, my response has always been the same. I keep telling you, no, over and over. What is it going to take to get through to you?
I mean, how about you just stop making me ask over and over again? Just, give in already. Don't be so selfish. Like I said, I am the wife of your superior, so telling me no at any time isn't really an option you have.
And like I said, you being the wife of someone who's supposedly above me at work has absolutely nothing to do with this situation. God, you're so thick-headed!
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's about time I get back to the party. Oh, and you can pay me back the $2,100 by tomorrow, too.
In your dreams. I am not paying you back 1 cent.
Oh, yes, you will. I expect it by tomorrow. That reminds me, there will be a lot of cleanup once you get home. Make sure you can take care of all that, too, while you're at it. I'll leave the cleaning of the grill and the utensils all to you as well. I'm sure even you're equipped enough to handle cleaning.
Hey, Jennifer, wait a second. I have a quick question.
Yeah? And what is it? You're really wasting my time. I have a party to host over here.
Are you sure you know whose house you're at? Do you know exactly whose yard and barbecue it is that you're using?
What? What kind of a question is that, Susan? Isn't it obvious? I am well aware of whose property this is. It's the house of my husband's ugly underling from work. I could have sworn I'd said that many times already. I guess you don't listen.
Just as I thought. You really are as clueless as you sound. The truth is, that's the boss's house. And no, I don't mean your husband. I mean the boss, the president of the company.
Are you serious? No way. You're obviously lying. The president of the company? I am at the president's house right now?
That's right, which means he's also the boss of your husband as well.
Oh, if you're telling the truth, then I guess you're right. So you're saying this is the president of the company's house? But this is your house. Wait a second. What are you telling me?
That's right. It looks like you figured it out. That house is mine, and I am the president of the company.
What? What in the world? No way you're telling the truth. Stop pulling my legs, Susan.
It's fine if you don't believe me. Why don't you go check and confirm that with the husband of yours? If you can't, just check out the company homepage. You'll get your answers there.
No, I don't believe it. You're just playing a joke on me because you're mad. Right? This all has to be just one big lie? Come on, out with it. Are you really telling me you're not only the boss of my husband, but president of the entire company?
Enough. I will be back home tonight.
What? Tonight? That's a little bit too soon. Why not come back tomorrow or the next day? Yeah, that'll be much better.
Can it? My neighbor already reached out to me telling me there's so much noise and is a bunch of crazy partying going on in my yard. She also said it looks like there was a lot of alcohol brought over there too. You guys have made quite the mess. A bunch of my flower gardens were destroyed and people are just leaving their trash anywhere they want to on my lawn. Sounds like you're really holding quite the rager over there.
Your neighbor was spying on us? That's not right. That's like an invasion of our privacy. I mean, no, that's not the case at all. She must be mistaking. None of that happened over here at all. Oh, and hey, Susan, by the way, maybe you don't have to let my husband know about this whole ugly episode. He doesn't need to know about any other stuff going on between you and me. Maybe it can just stay between us girls. What do you say?
Can it, Jennifer? Not a chance. Of course I will tell him everything his wife did to his boss's house.
Really? Wait, please, come on, have a heart.
Well, are you ready to reimburse me for all the damage you and your friends caused to my yard? From what I hear, you're just a housewife. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but your husband makes the money and handles the expenses.
Well, yeah, that is true.
so he'll need to know about this anyway if I'm going to be paid back for the damages. I will check on how my garden and yard looks and will reach out to you with an estimate. Well, I guess that's all. We will talk more once I get home.
What the? Wait a second. I hear sirens. Is a police car coming here?
Oh, that. Well, it looks like my neighbor called the police since she knows I'm not home and there are a bunch of rowdy strangers making themselves at home in my yard.
Oh, come on. It was just a little barbecue. Just some harmless fun. Honest. It wasn't supposed to turn out this way at all. Why did this all devolve into chaos on me all of a sudden?
Drop the innocent act. My neighbor has been home for 2 hours. The noise coming from the party got progressively worse as time went on. She quickly noticed that me or my husband weren't among your party members. We would never act that immature, especially in our own home. So she reached out to me like a good neighbor and friend would do. I told her we weren't home and if anyone is in our yard having a party, then they're there without our consent. So looks like she called the cops. Well, sounds like you'll have your hands full any minute. You don't have time to waste talking to me now. Like I said, I'll reach back out to you tomorrow to let you know how much you owe me.
Susan, please answer me. I am in a real tough spot here, and I have nowhere else to turn. You've got to be kidding me. You're telling me I owe you $10,000 in damages for your yard? Don't you think that's a little bit steep? Are you trying to rip me off? That's not even the worst of it. My husband found out all about it, going to your house, using your backyard, throwing a party and making a huge mess. He knows about all of it now. I think he's thinking about a divorce now because of this whole mess. Please, you gotta help me out. You have to do something. I haven't worked in like years. The last time was when I worked a part-time job when I was in high school. It's been so long, it would be impossible for me to find a job now. Especially one where I'd be able to pay you back that kind of money. Hey, Susan, come on, cut me some slack. At least answer me. Please reconsider this whole thing. I am begging you. $10,000? That is just out of the question. It's impossible for me. My husband won't help me out. He said I need to deal with this myself. Please, you gotta help me. Have a heart. Susan, come on. Can't you see I'm practically on my knees here begging? Come on, why won't you answer me? You're being unreasonable. You aren't even reading my messages? What do I have to do to get through to you? Susan, answer me! I am telling you, my husband will divorce me if you don't help me out of this situation. Please, help me. Can you please maybe make the amount I owe you a bit lower? $10,000 is just way too steep. Susan, where are you? You're killing me by not answering me right now.
The yard was really in bad shape after the party Jennifer held. It was quite a sight to see. It really did cost around $10,000 to have it all repaired to look like new. The head of the department that Jennifer's husband works in apologized for the damages on his behalf and assisted in reimbursing the $10,000. But of course, Jennifer planned on collecting that money for herself. Seems she really will never learn. She, of course, was found out before she was able to take $1. Her husband filed for divorce shortly thereafter. That wasn't the end of it, though. Jennifer's husband was also fired from his position in the company. He couldn't be trusted after all that has happened. I guess Jennifer couldn't help but show her true colors. She brought down everyone she was associated with. It's unfortunate since the two have a child they're raising together. However, her husband followed through with the divorce anyway. To no one's surprise, Jennifer tried to reach out to me through phone calls and text messages. It got so ridiculous, I had no choice but to block her phone number. I'm really not sure what she's doing now, but I do wish her the best. Hopefully one day she can pick up the pieces of her life and put them back together. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. Bye!